Okay, we're going to keep rolling here with this sheet for the random booster video. Some pretty good pulls so far. I've been happy with them, and some good variety too, although it does look like we've had a lot of Premier White border so far. Okay, 39. That's probably one of those middle boosters. Okay, oh, that's Jabba's Palace. So that's our third Jabba's Palace, which makes sense given the odds. There it is. As I often say with these, if you get a card that isn't a random alien, that's at least an interesting pull. And lots of times they can be pretty good cards, in terms of the rares, I should say. Okay. I never did like these higher deploy cost than forfeit characters, even when they have somebody at the audience chamber. I always thought this was an interesting idea. They have to have extra land speed to move out of the desert, which makes sense. That can be really annoying to an opponent depending on what happens to their characters there, if they even go there. And I've always liked this card in terms of what it means conceptually. So it says it's used for covering fire, so to cover a comrade or to pin an enemy down. So it just makes their forfeit a little bit less. So it's not, the idea isn't actually to necessarily hit anyone. It's to keep their heads down, because what does it have, a good rate of fire? Or, well, I don't know why it says why it's used for suppressing fire, but just kind of an interesting idea. Instead of hitting somebody, reducing their forfeit. Laser cannon. Yeah, so I mentioned in a previous video how some of these vehicle weapons are crazy expensive. 3 force to deploy, 3 force to fire, and fire repeatedly for 2 force each time. It does hit things pretty well, but I mean, when you got to spend 6 force total to fire it once, and then 2 for each repeating fire, that's rough. And our rare is a system, nice. So Tibrin, this is an interesting one. Exchanging 3 cards in hand for any 1 card in your lost pile. So it could be, I mean, you're basically losing 2 force to go get a card from your lost pile. Well, I guess you're losing 3 force to go get a card from your lost pile, but yeah, you're netting 2 force loss. So it could definitely be worth it for an important card. If you're able to like loop retrieval cards, like on the edge or off the edge, it might be useful for that, but that's a pretty high cost. Plus, Darkseid gets a force drain +1 there. So it's a pretty risky planet, but if you can combine that with some retrieval, then it might be worth it in some formats. So I'm happy with the pull. I always like systems. I always think they look cool the way Decipher did them. So a neat card, and not a bad Jabba's Palace pack. The commons and uncommons weren't anything too notable, but the rare is at least interesting. So thanks for watching. Hope you tune in for the next booster video.